Joining us now, member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman David Cicilline of Rhode Island. This past weekend, he was part of a congressional delegation that visited the Ukraine border with Poland. It's good to have you in.
Thanks for being with us. I want to talk about Poland in a minute, but let's first of all talk about the Russian military. You said that weeks ago you spoke with Ukrainians who predicted this was going to happen.
Yes, we were in Ukraine about 3 weeks ago, a bipartisan delegation, and everyone we met believed in their hearts it wouldn't happen. They didn't think that Vladimir Putin would actually do it. But when pressed, they said they were absolutely prepared to fight and die for their country. They said, we've tasted freedom and we are not going to go back to the time of the Soviet Union. And if it means dying, we will die, but we're going to fight to preserve our democracy and preserve our freedoms. And every single person, from young people to a 70-year-old woman we met, all said the same thing.
So you're not surprised by what you're seeing by this just heroic resistance?
Not at all. I mean, it's absolutely consistent with every single person we met and spoke to in the streets or all around Ukraine who said, this is our country. We are going to stay here. We are not going back to those times. One woman said, I lived under the Soviet Union. I had to wear gray every day. Can you imagine wearing gray every day? I have a gun this big. I am going to fight Vladimir Putin myself. Yeah. And that was typical of what we heard.
Let's talk about a different type of heroism, and that is from the Polish people themselves. It's remarkable, the stories along the Ukrainian-Polish border. Just remarkable Poles just showing up the border, accepting people, bringing them into their homes, not asking them how long they're going to stay, just saying, we're here for you, our home is now your home.
Yeah, the effort that's being led by the Polish people is extraordinary. In the border crossing we were at, about 1.5 million Poles have come, 1.5 million Ukrainians have come into Poland, and the moment they walk into Poland, there is hot food there that volunteers are cooking and providing water and clothing, taking them into their homes. It's extraordinary, and they are welcoming them with open arms. We have to do everything we can to support the Polish effort, this extraordinary humanitarian effort that, these folks have walked for very long distances in freezing cold, terrified, in tears, not sure what their future holds, and the Poles have been
and still just the first wave. Willie Geist.
Yeah, Congressman, I just want to get more from you on what you saw on the border, because I think it is so important. Poland has done just an extraordinary job. The UN announced today that 2 million people have left Ukraine, in a country of 44 million people, just in the last 2 weeks, fleeing the Russian invasion. As you know, the majority of them going to Poland. How are they absorbed into that country? That is a lot of people in 2 weeks to come in there. And then what is the hope that you heard from the Ukrainian people? Do they expect to return to their homes?
Yes, absolutely. The Ukrainian people hope, as most people want to go back home, and they hope to be able to do that soon. But the Poles have, accepted them into their own homes. People literally are driving to the border crossing and saying, I can take 4 people, I can take 3 people. They've also set up a welcome center for people who have no place to go until they can find a place for them. But, volunteers are bringing clothing and bringing toys for kids. There were Polish border guards passing out stuffed animals to the children waiting in line to try to comfort them and bring a little smile to their faces. But it is heartbreaking and devastating, and you see firsthand the suffering that has been imposed by this brutal, unwarranted, illegal, unprovoked attack by Vladimir Putin on a sovereign nation of Ukraine.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.